Howdy, Hacksters! Today, remotely, we have our friend Garrett Mace, who is an electronics hobbyist, LED inventor, well, inventor with LEDs, professional dabbler, jack of all trades, kind of human being who's made some really cool LED glasses that you're going to see in a second. What's up, Garrett?
Oh, not much. Just doing a conference with a friend. We've done a few of those this year. Kind of getting used to it. Maybe in another couple of years, this will be completely normal.
Yeah. So what is MaceTech, and what are you doing over there?
So MaceTech is basically a hobby of mine. It at one point was um, a full-time job. I have since moved on to a different full-time job. But MaceTech has been around for about 10 years. Started off with the Shift Bright, which is a small addressable pixel. These
Ooh.
days, you can get a pixel for 10 cents and get bulk pixels on strip for even less. But back when I made the Shift Bright, you pretty much had to pay $10 for an addressable pixel. And I found a chip, put together some prototypes, got some PCBs from Batch PCB, back when that was the only thing going. Assembled this chip and then just kind of floated out there in the world, and everyone was like, "I want some of those. You say there's only like $5," which still sounds ridiculous
Wow.
now.
And this was before NeoPixels and stuff?
Yes.
Dang!
So people would take the Shift Right and uh, basically make the same types of things that you see with NeoPixel projects today. So it was over 10 years ago, and my roommate at the time said, "Hey, like if you actually want to go professional with this, like I'll put in some money, you put in some money, we'll split the business." And I was like, "Sure, why not? I always kind of wanted to do that." So that's where it started. We ordered a few thousand of them, and they sold pretty quickly. Just selling them out of a bedroom, doing all the shipping and packing and store building and stuff ourselves. So then, of course, added more product ideas. There was other types of LED controllers, I/O expanders, accessories, cables, and eventually ended up designing some LED shades and showing them off at Maker Faire one year.
Yeah. And I gotta call out that it's amazing to have a roommate who not only tolerates you running a business out of your apartment, I assume it was out of your place, but also is like, hey, I'll put in money for this. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, not only did he help, but tolerate, but he helped and is still currently half owner of MaceTech.
Oh, that's super
So
cool.
yeah, it's been great. We did lots of cool projects together. Did a lot of Maker Faire exhibitions together, and yeah, it's taken us a lot of cool places.
So first up, there's let's take a look at these shades. We've got MaceTech up on the computer here, macetech.com. We'll put the link to that in the description to the video, where you can see the shades, which are made of, these are sort of mostly bare PCBs, right? On the front?
Yes, they are constructed entirely of circuit boards. Well, a little bit of
Wow.
hardware as well, but they're assembled circuit boards you just connect together with a hex wrench.
And so there is a kit version. Is there a fully assembled version as well? Like, how much assembly does the average person have to do with this?
So we do have a kit version, and we will assemble it for you.
Ah.
So I think we charge like $20 for me to sit here and put it together, but I'm literally putting it together.
Ah, no way.
So
Cool.
um, I could show some of the construction, like just open up a bag of the parts and show how they
Ooh,
fit together.
please.
I'm not going to build the whole thing, but
No, yeah. That's a lot of RGB LEDs.
68.
Whew.
Yeah.
I see those side arms there that look super cool. Is there also a 3D printed part here? I saw sitting behind you a little M3D 3D printer and a bunch of filaments. I'm curious what role that plays, if any.
Yeah, I have three 3D printers here right now.
Hmm.
There's the M3D, which unfortunately I did pull out of the trash. I've never seen it working, but that's one of those things I want to get working. It's a cute little thing. It's just so cute.
They're super
And
cute.
then there's an Ultimaker original over here, and then if you have more than one 3D printer, you can never have more than one working 3D printer.
True.
So the Prusa clone is just in pieces. They're trying to upgrade the extruder, and said extruders up here somewhere. To actually answer your question, there were 3D printed parts. So let's see, if we go to demo cam, these were the LED matrix shades. So this was the first iteration of shades. They're not RGB. They're, well, it's kind of bright here, so you can't really see, but they're blue, and you could select different single color LEDs. And we had a 3D printed hinge assembly, just because the hinges are kind of the hardest part to do here. And 3D printing got us there. So 2 pieces there, one that attaches to the front with these 2 screws and inserts. And then there was another piece that attaches to the arm, and just, simple hinge assembly. The fun part about this at the time was we used iMaterialize as the 3D printing provider. And this is a powder bed printer. And I would take 5 sets of parts and assemble them with little tiny stubs into a cage, inside which all of these small parts were held. So they would ship us these little cubes that would be 3D printed. It was like a box of the smaller parts made out of the parts that we needed to make the shades. Unfortunately, I didn't dig up the picture I have of that, but that was a fun way to get really small parts from a 3D printing supplier and only pay volume instead of like individual part handling. You have to like dig out a part smaller than a die.
Right. So you can get them all printed as a single block and shipped as a single block, and then you take them apart instead of that's really cool.
Right. So that was the first iteration. So we had the LED matrix shades, and this was the first one, and we didn't have hinges at all. It was a this is actually one of the prototypes I took to Maker Faire. So we have only six rows of LEDs, and it's all a shift register based system instead of addressable pixels. And you got really chonky sides there.
I like the little expression on it though. It's very cute.
Oh yeah. It's like, I really like these. I still like them. I could pull them out and it's just. This is one of our friends who came up with a slogan for us: the very best tech. I think it's a little, it's okay tech.
It's extremely good tech. It's all good tech. I wonder if you have any tips on dealing with the bajillion little cables there, because I noticed that each side on the second rev that you have there has 4 little white cables on it. And did you get those fabbed by a manufacturer with connectors on the end, or did you have to do them all individually? What's the deal?
Well, yeah, that was supply chain stuff is a big part of it. And when you're doing just a prototype, you can build this stuff yourself. Whoa! Come back. All right. So yeah, that is a difficult cable to build. I think it's like
it's not just 4, it's like 6.
Yeah, it's like 1 millimeter pitch, I think. And I built the first few myself, but we did have the ability to get cables made, and it's pretty straightforward. I know that Dirty PCB has kind of a spin-off called like Dirty Cables now, I think. And then I think Osh Park is trying to do the same thing too. But really,
yeah, Osh Park, you could get flex ones, like flex ribbon cables made for sure, if nothing else.
You can send a drawing to most places that do this kind of thing, and then they'll send it to their cable company.
Awesome.
And then like get it for like 50 cents a piece at least, or at most.
It seems totally worth it.
Oh yeah, cabling is just terrible.
I've done my time with that.
especially crimps.
So tell us about some of the other things you've got going on here. That amazing rectangle spinny thing. What is that? I've seen it in person actually, so I can't pretend that I don't know. But it's very amazing in person.
So I didn't. Well, maybe I could show a video of it. Um, I do have a few slides of some things I've been working on.
Ooh.
So this was something I call the core, and it's a couple of 3D printed hemispheres filled with electronics and a bunch of cables, and it all goes out to pixels at the end. So
That's incredible.
it looks best when it's spinning, but in reality, it's just hanging statically up in my living room. It's a ESP8266, so it's got the ability to react to sound, and I can turn it on and off with my phone. So yeah, it was a fun little project. A little too much 3D printing. And then yeah, working on a new CNC router. Just got that running a couple days ago, actually.
Ooh, I see you have your supervisor in the picture.
Yeah, Dante is he approves of anything that he can sit on. But yes.
What kind of a CNC is it? Are you designing it from scratch, or is it an open one?
I didn't design this one from scratch. It's Queen Bee Pro. It's a kit that you can get, and it's mostly extrusions. It has linear rails. It has lead screws, and it comes with a spindle if you so choose. It's a lot of work to get put together. You can build it into roughly the shape of a machine pretty quickly, but like the table is something you have to find yourself. You got to do all the wiring yourself. It doesn't come with a controller box. You're just handed a box of parts and told good luck.
I imagine there's a lot of calibration that go on as well.
Definitely. I've only broken a few bits when the spindle is doing something and I'm like, no, 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 no. Snap.
Oh no.
I did a project for my day job. I'm working with Carrie Sharfglass.
Oh yeah.
At Span. So it's like a renewables adjacent company. There's like a smart breaker panel. So if there's a power outage, you can turn certain loads off, etc. So we're trying to build that, and we've gotten to the point where we're getting some sales. And one of the fun things you can do in an office is your sales team can go bang the sales gong when they actually make a sale. We had a Slack channel called Virtual Gong, and that wasn't good enough. So I had to make a physical virtual gong that we could send out to all of our employees and use ESP8266 to connect to Wi-Fi and connect to MQTT broker, and then pipe from a Slack bot. So we have basically a Slack controlled buzzer. It does little beeps and bloops. And
oh, that's cool. So you could have it not just be a gong, but also, you could play like a little Mario song or something like that. Oh,
exactly.
Dante.
This is Theo,
Oh,
one of my coworkers' cats. They just proof that not only I can be entranced by RGB LEDs.
I love that there's your base there is made of bent CDs. Very upcycly.
Yes, that was, there was supposed to be a 3D printed base, but then the 3D printer broke, which is what happens with 3D printers.
Well, this is brilliant though. So, your shades are sort of, I think of them as kind of your iconic product, and there are others who feel the same. We've seen a few star-studded appearances of these shades. So, we've seen Tenaya Hurst in her "This Is How We Make" video. This is how I first heard about your shades, was from this sort of maker pop star Tenaya, who was performing this song at our hackathons in 2015 and showing off your goggles at every turn. They're super cool. Have you worked with other influencers and things?
We have. So the LED matrix shades, the single color ones, those were worn on stage by Metric during one of their tours.
Whoa, no way! They're like my fave! Wait, was it actually Emily Haynes?
So Emily Haynes was the only one in the band who didn't wear the shades. She has different. But everyone else was wearing them on stage.
That's so cool.
It was fun. And then 50 Cent did an Australian tour, and he wore the RGB shades.
Cool.
And then most recently, Muse.
No way.
Matt has been wearing the shades on tour, and they did a feature-length music video film, I guess, called Simulation Theory, and Matt wears the shades a bunch in there. He has this really tricked out power glove, which is also super awesome. I really should have grabbed a picture of that as well. But basically, you could go to Muse's Instagram and pretty much like scroll down a couple, and you'll probably see some shades.
What is this tour called again?
Simulation Theory.
Simulation Theory. Oh, here we go. This is so cool. This is you. Let me pull it up.
And here we go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What was it like? Did actual Muse call you up and was like, hey, we need something cool? Or like, was it like their publicist?
Yeah.
Like, we need something cool for these guys to wear.
No, it was definitely someone who's like handling a lot of their art for them.
That is so badass. That is so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. They went through Phoenix, and Jason's living out there right now. And they said, he was texting me from the concert, like, he just came up through the floor wearing the RGB shades. I
hope he got a video. That's what a friend would do.
He did. He sent me a video. I, of course, didn't
That's so cool
for today. But that was fun. Like, they keep posting little, clips and photos. One thing that I noticed just the other day was that in the Simulation Theory, you can buy their master super special pack or something. I don't know what it's called. They have a comic book that comes in there that was a partnership with Marvel, and the cover of it has Matt wearing the shades. So like, I technically have gotten the shades onto the cover of a Marvel comic book, which is like, how does that even happen? So this was again a there it is.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And I brought this up because our friend Artie Beavis told me about this link with Sir Mix-a-Lot, who apparently is an electrical engineer, and you mentioned was trying to learn Eagle when you met. And so tell me about it.
So Sir Mix-a-Lot, I'm not sure if he did a lot of it before that particular Maker Faire, as I think he portrayed himself as, starting to learn a lot of the things and just going through Maker Faire and seeing what was there. And like everyone else who went to Maker Faire, it was super inspiring, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he would pop up on Twitter from once in a while, asking questions about certain corner cases in Eagle PCB routing and things like that. So I have no idea we didn't stay in touch. I got one selfie with him, but I don't know if he's still designing boards, but if he is, maybe we could convince him to try KiCad.
If you are, sir, yeah, you gotta try KiCad. It is so good. I call it KiCad. It's very confusing. You can say either one. I've been learning KiCad. It's awesome. So did you design these first ones in Eagle or KiCad, or have you switched? What's the deal?
So everything that you see that I've designed so far has been with Eagle. Yeah. So the first real board that I went start to finish and produced and assembled and it worked was that little virtual gong thing that I showed you.
And so did you say that you're thinking of switching to KiCad, or are you just trying it out to see what the other side is like?
I'm definitely thinking of switching to it. So I'm also using FreeCAD for mechanical design. And I just really like having tools that I know are always going to be there, always can be recompiled for whatever computer I'm using. can be fixed if they're broken. And Eagle has been integrated into Fusion now.
Yeah.
So
It's like all under Autodesk now.
yeah, if you have Fusion, you also get Eagle. Um, but the issue now is that they're putting Eagle in Fusion, and now you can't just have Fusion and Eagle as two separate things you can use. You have to start up the entire 3D CAD program.
Oof. Yeah, and you probably have to do like a subscription to them as well, which you don't need for
Yeah.
KiCad. You don't, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just a little too much for me right now. Not cost wise, because I mean, I've paid thousands of dollars for Eagle, but it's just I don't like feeling that someone could just flick a switch and my tools suddenly stop working.
Yeah, that's really frustrating, especially after you've, as you say, you've paid thousands of dollars for Eagle, and all of a sudden you have to like have this whole other thing in order to run it.
Yeah, the Eagle 7 still works. I used it yesterday, but you know, I'm running an old Mac right now, and if I buy a new one, the Eagle 7 won't run on it. Well, not natively. There's like a translation layer, I guess, for the new ARM-based Macs, but there will come a point where my old copy of Eagle 7 doesn't work anymore, and I can't just recompile it for a new processor and a new operating system. So KiCad/KiCad will always be there. Like you could go find a dusty CD in someone's closet and then go find the matching compilers and everything and build it and run it on computer in 2200 or something. So that's really cool.
Maybe I will.
I hope to get the chance to.
So on this Reef thing that is going crazy behind you right now,
Yes.
you're running that with a Teensy, is that
That's
right? And tell us about those pixel screens, because there's an interesting, this became kind of a phenomenon previously.
Yes, so I don't have any of the cases anymore, but pink pixel purses were a Project MC. There was a cartoon called Project MC, and it was a purse that had a programmable display on it. Yes. And you could get them on Amazon for like $6 at the time because it was just a wildly unpopular product, apparently.
Oh no.
Until hackers heard of it and someone finally bought one, opened it up, and discovered it was just a normal, buy it from AliExpress for like $20 at the time, pixel array with a fully documented communication protocol. So people started buying these up from Amazon, and of course, immediately the price started to climb.
Of course.
And I managed to get 9 of them and strip out the pixels. And I took some to SuperCon just as like a super long display, just stuck it in the corner. It was great. But I got back and thought, I could take a bunch of pixel purse panels, or really just buy panels straight up somewhere, and make what is just a big kind of hard to use TV. Line them up, just make a display. Or I could do something that really leverages the fact that they are self-contained, can be put at any angle. You could make a 3D structure out of them. So I took this this nonagon and basically did some math in Python to generate affine transforms for a set of panels that were offset and rotated and then spun around, and then create it's like a 50 kilobyte lookup table that maps physical locations to a specific pixel in memory. So then
wow.
I had to
you
use
map all the pixels, but like on a sort of grid, no matter how you position them.
Yes. So
wow.
the Teensy knows where every pixel is physically, and it works a lot of LED applications work where you just render out to a display. This one renders backwards. So it goes, looks at every pixel that physically exists, pulls out the real world coordinates of it, and then decides what color that pixel should be based on a formula, or where it is in an image or something like that. So I guess that a lot of people call it the shader approach, and you see that a lot on some of the really cool cubes
like
people are
with
building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tell us about this poster behind you, the one that says RGB shades on it really big. That's not like one giant PCB, obviously, but it also is, it doesn't seem to be a regular poster. What's going on with that?
So that is all that is a poster. I went to a local print shop and got the design cut out, then just stuck it onto some poster board, trimmed it out, and then I attached real, just off the shelf pixel strips to it. All right. This is not a better view.
No, I think it's a better view.
I guess the only tricky part about that was having to, just measure the interpixel distance and then scale everything appropriately. So it was the strip itself that decided what scale the printing would be.
That makes sense. So yeah, I see some earlier iterations of the glasses on there. What iteration would you say you're on?
So one thing that we're trying to work on is a Wi-Fi version. So you can see this is 2018. Hasn't been moving very quickly. We have constructed some Wi-Fi shades and tried them out. And really that's just the ability to take your phone, change messages and things like that. And possibly do some wireless synchronization. And here is a fancy red circuit board.
Ooh.
2017. And that was a macrofab build. So I just love using macrofab for prototypes when I have like no time to work on it myself.
What do you like about macrofab?
The fact that they're just a time saver. Like I wouldn't like get a bunch of stuff produced at macrofab like in volume because I have people that I use for the RGB shades already to do that. And then there's like JL PCB is also coming up with a lot of assembly options. But like going to a local shop or relatively local shop to do like quick prototypes, like you just kind of fire and forget, and then like a couple weeks later your prototype shows up and you can just start working on the code and all that. It's pretty handy, especially like if I switch to not doing MaceTech full time, but having a day job and MaceTech. That's when you really start kind of begrudging those 3 hours of doing prototype work. And this is the newest iteration of shades. It's I don't have a great name for them. I call them outline shades. So they are really just glasses frames.
This is so amazing. And you've got real prescription lenses in there? I love this.
I use the capacitors as standoffs essentially. So I just cut up a pair of my old glasses, glued them in, and then of course can wear them as prescription. I haven't done too much with them. They have an IMU in there and a microphone. So
can you do like one of those falling sand demos? These are so mesmerizing.
I could, like I want to kind of like do like a wave type thing. But let's see. This is a SAMD 21. So normally RGB shades are based on an Atmega. So these, this is a modification to the RGB shades. So we're using a off-the-shelf metal glasses hinge here, which is also passing the system ground. Compare that to the hinges for the RGB shades, where you have a FR4 cut into certain pieces that tab the slot together and then form this this hinge.
Wow.
This was a prototype my manufacturer in Taiwan put together for us. I wanted to see if it would even work. I had this idea for making these little tabs, and one of the things that makes it work is you have to have what CNC people call dog bones, and you can't really see it here, but every corner where the tabs hit has like a 0.8 millimeter drill. So they drill out and then they route the internal slot, and that lets the square edges of the PCBs fit together nicely. It's kind of the secret of getting these tab and slot things to be stable, because you just don't have it like be super loose or like make it extra long so the corners fit.
Wow, I've
So
never
yeah.
heard of that. That's totally new to me.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like to use PCB design as kind of a really accurate, small scale CNC provider.
Yeah, totally. I've just gotten some PCBs done for. You were talking about the ESP8266, and I feel like you would enjoy this. It's also like got this special PCB routing. But I love how you can get just like these lovely edges, and sometimes you have to Dremel off the little attachments or whatever mouse bites and things. But you know, you can get really nice results. It's so good.
Yeah, the quality has just been going up and up on those quick turn cheap PCBs. It's insane. I remember like ordering circuit boards from Bulgaria because it was like the best option out there. I think it was Olimix. Yeah, was Olimix in Bulgaria?
No.
It was just out there, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna order PCBs from this random shop with kind of a sketchy website in Bulgaria, and they arrived, and they were cheaper than anything else you could get.
Solid.
Yeah, but these days it's just like even dirty PCBs has great quality. They're typically who I use, but of course, if I really want something faster, I'll hit up Osh Park.
So I want to highlight one last thing before we wrap up here, as well as anything else you want to throw in. But you have to show us the snap filter.
Oh yes, so we kind of in today's world of lockdowns and work from home, we've gone ahead and obsoleted RGB shades. So since everyone exists through video conferences, you can get RGB shades for free. And this is a snap filter. And you can, if you have Snap Camera or if you're just using Snapchat on your phone, you can grab that just by searching for RGB shades in the app. And the code there, I guess, if you scan that, the filter will pop up. But you can use it right away. So you should be able to like scan it right off your screen right now. It should work. But this was a fun little project. They have like a whole studio, like development studio for creating these filters, and it's like a full-fledged 3D modeling program. And you can set up all these filters and shaders and actions and animations. This is a fully implemented 3D model of the RGB shades that I created in Blender and then imported directly. So it's fun. But if you just want RGB shades without having to buy them or put them together, you could just grab the snap filter. And seriously, I showed it to Jason, and he's like, "Why are you wearing RGB shades right now? We're in a meeting." I'm like, "I'm not."
Joke's on you. It's great. It makes me think of some like anonymization filters or something.
Yeah.
It's
Of
so
course,
good.
it'd be a lot easier to just make a black bar.
But this is way more fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you have coming up or that you'd like us to watch out for? Everyone you can follow, we'll drop the links in the description, of course, for Twitter and Instagram, for Garrett's personal, as well as the MaceTech accounts. Very exciting. But yeah, anything else you'd like to throw in before we wrap up?
Yeah, well, we're hopefully going to get these outline shades out there pretty soon. And we really want to get some wireless control. But the most exciting thing I have right now is news from Chrome. So in order to change patterns on the RGB shades right now. You have to open up the Arduino IDE, go in, edit some code, upload it, and it's surprisingly hard for some people to do that. Like I know most of the people watching this are going to be like, oh yeah, just open up Arduino. I already have it open. It's fine. But a lot of people are just like, I want to wear the shades. I want to change the meshes to do something cool. And Chrome 89, which should drop March 2nd, has finally added web serial. So you can now directly access serial devices, as in like a USB to serial device, such as RGB shades, directly from the browser, directly from scripts in the browser. Now, this is scary to some people, but I love it because I'm going to create a simple application that like lives on a GitHub page or something, and you just go in there, it'll connect to the shades, and then you can like type in your messages, like reorder or adjust patterns, and it'll just work right from a browser. No software, no drivers, nothing. So you could just have a microcontroller uploading application that lives
That's
entirely
so cool.
in the browser. So pretty excited about that. Again, that's March 2nd. And if you go to Chrome //device-log, you should be able to see what USB devices you have right now. And then if you enable experimental features, it'll show you the serial ones as well, because it's the beta is already out there. But on March 2nd, everybody will have it.
Dang, that's awesome. That's going to be really useful for programming things. Like Arduino's had their, in-browser IDE forever, but also just being able to do that directly from something built into Chrome is so cool.
Yeah, those even I think Arduino Create requires you have to install an extension.
Right, you have to install a whole little helper thingy.
Yeah, this should take that all away. It's a native feature.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this cool stuff with us. I'm really excited to share this with our audience. And of course, you're welcome back whenever you have new cool announcements and stuff. We're going to watch out for those outline shades and the new Chrome interaction in early March. Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. It was great to talk to you, Alex.
Rock on, Garrett.